latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Yeah, we're in the Signature Bank Studios, and Signature Bank is a sponsor of our golf outing at McRae in Barrington next week. And we're fortunate to score a conversation with Kevin Bastuga, the co-founder of Signature Bank, because we're right in his sweet spot in the day. This is after his spa treatment and before he goes to Butterfield Country Club to drink his breakfast.
I mean, I really don't know how we scored this
interview. So we got
exclusive.
and then it just goes from there.
Wow.
He's got a big day.
Yes.
Well, let's get some perspective from our friends at Signature Bank on the environment, the business environment in Chicago, since they're a bank for entrepreneurs, productive risk takers. And again, the golf outing is Wednesday. We got a couple of slots left. We want to make sure that no slot goes unfilled.
Yeah, because we like to have foursomes on a tee box. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be that bad. No, we have foursomes left, twosomes, singles. And if you'd like to join us next Wednesday at McRae Memorial Golf Club in Barrington, please go to 560theanswer.com/golf. And if you own a business, this could be a win-win-win. You could sign up for a foursome. You'll have a great day of golf, and we have prizes, a silent auction, yada, yada, breakfast, lunch, dinner. But the proceeds will go to Tunnel to Towers Foundation. And also, we can give you 25 one-minute commercials that will air right here on AM560 Monday through Sunday. And it's a great way to elevate your business. And if you've never advertised before, this is the best deal in Chicagoland radio. 560theanswer.com/golf.
And for more on this, pleased to be joined by Kevin Bastuga, fresh off his chemical peel, waiting for his driver to take him to the club. Kevin, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. What an introduction.
Yeah.
Well, is it true?
I've known him since high school. I can bust his chops.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And he was actually college roommates with my husband.
Oh, that's
They're
right.
both Phi Psi together at Illinois.
Yeah.
And Kevin, my youngest son's a Phi Psi now, too. So just thought I'd let you know.
The one that's getting bounced out of Iowa?
No, he's not kidding.
Oh, he's not yet. Oh, okay. So we were talking offline about this too. I mean, about the golf outing, and one of the things that I know is attractive to you and Signature Bank is the partnership with Tunnel to Towers, and we've had a couple of the Tunnel to Towers guys on this week talking about that too. So I just wanted to give you a chance to address that organization.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, we have enjoyed a long relationship with you and Amy and all the team at AM560. There's a lot of values that line up with our support of small business, locally owned business, entrepreneurship. And the fact that couples up with a cause that's as worthy as Tunnel to Towers is, just a win-win. To your point about some foursomes being open, I would encourage any listener that's thinking about it to attend the outing. It's a great day. It's a full day if you want it to be a full day, and if not, that's fine. But it's a great networking event, and the presentation to Tunnel to Towers at the end is moving, and to hear the dedication that those folks have to this cause, and the reason that they have dedication to this cause is really inspiring.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the business climate in Chicago, because you have a front row seat to it with your clientele. What's your general sense of it before I get into some specifics about what you hear? How is it going out there, do you think?
I think it's going okay. We've seen people since the election and since Trump took office, we've seen some people kind of come off the sidelines and make some bigger business decisions. I think there was just a lot of trepidation about what the climate was going to be in general. More specifically, there is still some trepidation around tariffs, especially with manufacturing companies that have to import from overseas. Mm-hmm. There's still some, trepidation about making decisions related to production and key inputs and the price of those inputs. So we see some lingering effects from that. We're hoping that, that all kind of resolves in the next 60 to 90 days and people can get back to worrying about what they should worry about.
Well, how does Signature Bank differentiate itself from larger institutions, in terms of serving local entrepreneurs?
We take a very personal approach, Amy. We don't, you're not a number at this bank. One of the three co-founders, me included, is involved in every single transaction and every single relationship. And that kind of honors the concept of owners want to speak to decision makers. Decision making is all local. There's no, genie behind the curtain. There's no Wizard of Oz, 4 states removed that's making credit decisions. You talk to the people that make the decisions, and we kind of sell ourselves on certainty of execution and speed of delivery.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, just thinking about that, but perhaps one of the best examples of that in a difficult time, I remember talking to you about it, but it's good to remember it because, how people respond in crisis is telling, was the response you got for your customers with PPP loans back when the lockdowns were imposed.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually meeting with a prospective client yesterday afternoon and telling her about our response to that. In a matter of a weekend, we went from 75 people at headquarters down to 8. But because we had invested in technology and people's ability to work remotely, we were still able to orchestrate the PPP process in a very efficient fashion, and we're able to deliver that for every single client that needed it or wanted it. And in addition to that, clients from other banks that, were being told, get in line and wait patiently.
You mentioned the uncertainty of some trade policy, sort of what's happening at the federal level that impacts some of your clients and the Chicagoland business community by extension. What do they say locally? The things that are the most challenging or problematic? I mean, is it labor pool? Is it sort of the business environment, the tax and regulatory business environment? Something else that they talk about as sort of a rolling lament. If things were a little bit better on this score or that score, we could be doing a lot better.
Right. Well, you hit on a big one, Dan, which is labor pool concerns. If you drive around industrial parks in the western suburbs, northern suburbs, south suburbs, you'll notice that at manufacturing plants, there are help wanted signs everywhere for people that are qualified to operate machinery. I know it's a very contemporary topic to encourage folks to go to trade schools and to learn a trade. There are real opportunities out there for people that want to pursue that type of career. And it's a very dignified way of contributing to the economy. So that's kind of the labor issue. Moreover, the local and state environment, there's constant concern among the business owners specifically that listen to your show about the tax environment, about the policies that come out of Governor Pritzker's office, the rhetoric, quite frankly, that comes out of Mayor Johnson's mouth. There's really been a shift, as you know, in the last 10 or 15 years away from supporting business, encouraging business to, worker rights and very individual sort of splintered issues that business owners don't feel like they are supported by the state.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not a friendly tax policy.
It's like the good news, bad news about Illinois in terms of, people who think manufacturing is dead in America drive around those industrial parks that you're talking about around O'Hare. It's still
look at Elk Grove.
Yeah, exactly. Starting there, the largest industrial park in the country.
Yep.
So I mean, so there are going concerns, and there's a lot more activity than I think sometimes people think, because of the way it's talked about sort of at the macro international level. But by the same token, it's when you have a goose that's as golden as the Chicago business community. I mean, it takes a while to strangle it, but it doesn't mean it can't be done if you stick to it. And it seems to me we're still in that sort of nether space. People are getting on and they're making do. And some business, not every business is you can just pick up and move to another state like Citadel. But it's all and so people being productive and they're making a profit and they're employing people, but it just seems very precarious.
It is. You hit the nail on the head with something that I was going to address in that, Citadel, Boeing, large companies like that can afford to just pick up and move and pay their employees to move and attract talent. That's one thing. But, the $12 million metal finishing company that's headquartered in the industrial park in Addison, that's a completely different story. They're fighting for labor. They have to pay their people competitively. They're fighting on benefits to, keep their people employed and keep attracting new talent. So there's just a lot of headwinds out there. But, as we've discussed in the past, Chicago is still via location, via the history of manufacturing and small business in the Midwest, access to things as basic as fresh water and not having some of the challenges that companies have in the western half of the United States, the continuity of power that we have here so that, we can develop data centers and things such as that. There are just a lot of attractive, basic geographic and sort of fundamental factors that make this a great place to do business.
Right, but maybe a little bit more focus on the environment as opposed to, say, the state picking winners and losers by spending $500 million for a Chinese communist-backed electric vehicle battery plant, for example, just as an example.
Right.
Maybe that's not. Maybe that's
the fact that
that's the best play.
The fact that we have two major airports here, and companies that import stuff from overseas, the access to rail, the access to trucking, and the amount of miles of interstate that we have. Location is hard. It's a hard thing to ignore.
Yeah, we see that. I mean, some of the turnover, right? I mean, we see it near where our studio is here in Elk Grove, which is, logistics. So if you're not manufacturing things because of our location, the logistics businesses that are moving things that are manufactured.
That's exactly right. There's logistics is, has been an up and down business. Trucking has had its challenges in the last, 7 or 8 years. It seems like it's coming back as manufacturing is coming back online. Just another data point is that we do see companies moving manufacturing onshore. I spoke with a company last week that is based in the Netherlands, and because of the tariff situation, they're going to start manufacturing in Chicago, in the Chicago area, and are looking at multiple locations to set up operations. So, the tariff thing is a divisive issue, but we do see the effect of it moving some manufacturing back on shore.
All right. So, what kind of handicap are you sporting these days?
Now we're getting to the real nitty gritty.
But no, seriously. Well, I mean, you want people to trust you as a banker, and we got to check your handicap, make sure you're not sandbagging it at Butterfield. I mean, I'll know. So you might as well just get it out.
Right now it's a 10, legit 10.
Okay, I believe that actually. Yeah, I believe that. All right.
Are we going to see you on Wednesday?
You will. You will indeed.
All right. Make sure to, you know how Amy demands Signature Bank swag, so make sure to bring a lot of balls for her.
We will have folks out there giving away some Signature Bank swag, and we look forward to seeing you both.
All right. And by the way, a buddy of mine just texted me just on Tunnel to Towers, the beneficiary of our and partner with the golf outing, and sponsored by Signature Bank. Remember Danny Golden, the Chicago police officer who was shot and paralyzed? So a buddy of mine just told me that his house, Danny Golden's house, from Tunnel to Towers is going to be done in September.
Oh,
so they're going to have
great.
an opening party in September. So that's the good work Tunnel to Towers does.
And help us get that done.
In the spirit that Chicago is a sort of a small world, there is an employee here at Signature Bank who is directly related to Danny. So we're close to that story.
Oh, great.
Oh,
wow. Okay, cool.
All the more reason to come out and help us on next Wednesday, June 18th. Go to 560theanswer.com/golf.
And Danny's doing well, too. I saw him at an event last summer, and he's at ATF now.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, so he's still in law enforcement. He's doing well. Kevin Bastuga, co-founder and executive vice president of Signature Bank. Kevin, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
We appreciate the partnership. Thank you both.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
The following advertisement includes a celebrity impersonation.
The summer heat in Chicagoland is no joke.